Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our JustNoMil. In today's episode, JNMIL, I am not interfering, I am showing interest and giving advice. Fireworks went off tonight, and I don't mean 4th of July. MIL won't move out after being asked to update. My mom is acting spoilt with my newborn. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. JNMIL, I am not interfering, I am showing interest and giving advice. Context: my MIL is very intrusive and overbearing, forcing her opinions on us and trying to guilt trip my husband into including her more in our decision making. But hubby has been very strong in re-establishing boundaries as needed and giving minimal information. My husband and his mom always had a horrible and toxic relationship. She has been judgmental, rude, condescending and verbally/physically abusive. We planned our honeymoon very last minute. Normally, he doesn't even tell his mom when we go on trips, because she is so intrusive, and will try to question why we chose this destination, how much money it's going to cost, and etc. But since this is our honeymoon and it was a bigger trip, he decided that maybe it might be better to tell her. So he told her the day before we left. She proceeded to yell and cry. She said it is so unfair that he doesn't trust her to tell her these things in advance. She knows my hubby thinks she interferes a lot. She kept saying she is not interfering, but she is just showing interest and giving advice. She said God will punish him for being a bad son. She complained about the destination we chose, and she told him that a son like him is useless, and that she doesn't need a son like him. She insists all her friends say that my husband is in the wrong for not telling her from the very beginning of our trip preparations. Was he in the wrong? What would you do moving forward? Fireworks went off tonight, and I don't mean 4th of July. He is taught to just avoid conflict and shut a conversation down as to not upset them. He can't do that when it comes to us. He won't seek it out, but he won't run from it. They will never be in our home, and we will never be their caretakers, but honestly that wasn't a concern since his sister has been doing it and wants to continue. He kind of stated to SIL that it was rude to disrespect me, but he needs to state that a firm boundary and one that will have consequences. I am so mad I'm shaking. My SO's family is from India, he was born there and raised here. I'm glow-in-the-dark white and born and raised in the South, so I think it's fair to say we have some cultural differences when it comes to our family. I have issues with my own family, so I have been extremely supportive of him being close with them, because I know what it's like having to keep my family at arm's length. I haven't spoken to my mom or her side of the family since I was 19. So has been coming out of the fog slowly since before I met him, but I encouraged him to start therapy this year, and he's been coming out of it faster and faster. And tonight? Well, tonight it came to a head. His sister knows about me, they aren't happy he's dating a white girl, but I can't do anything about it. But here's the thing, they act like every time he mentions my name they have never heard about me. His sister is the worst flying monkey, and today he invited his family down for a visit, after checking with me, and me stupidly encouraging it, and SIL had the audacity to say they'll only come for a visit if I leave and go stay with friends for a week. First, she was insulted they were only invited for a long weekend. We have work like neither of us just can take off a whole week, literally 2 weeks from now. And then I can't even be in my own home cause it's disrespectful to the whole family that he's picking me over them. I live here, you are coming into my home, trying to dictate 2 grown adults and their home, and I am the disrespectful one. She then went on to say even though we've been together for almost 2 years we need to not live together and keep our relationship separate from our families, because even white people keep it separate until it's serious, which makes no sense. When So tried to explain that we are serious and about to buy a house together, and that I am now his family, and even if white people keep it separate he sees my dad and stepmom often, so by her own standards it is extremely serious. SIL didn't like that and called crying that So was going to ruin his life by dating someone who is just a social worker, and I'm below them. Ma'am, I stand on my own merits, but I come from a family that is very, very well off. She thinks I'm after his money, and we make almost the same, and I have no student loans or debt like he does. I'm rambling cause it's so infuriating, and I know I'm privileged to have never been discriminated against because of my skin color, and it could be so much worse, but this is hurtful, and it's gonna hurt so, and they don't care. How do you help him? How do you handle this? I don't think I can continue to encourage a relationship with him and them after this disrespect, but I don't want him to resent me for anything. MIL won't move out after being asked to update. We typed out a notice telling her she had 90 days to leave. We put in there the requirement that she update us after 1 month on her progress, and if it's not satisfactory, we can move up the timeline or go the legal route. We also included that the same goes if she tries making things worse around here. We gave it to her and had her read it while we stood there. She refused to take it out of my husband's hand and forced him to hold it the whole time she read it. She kept saying wow, and he finally asked what. She started going on about things she's done for us, and he stopped her and told her he's not going to be guilt-tripped. She said she wasn't trying to guilt-trip him. I scoffed, and she told me to be quiet. We mentioned her not following simple rules and being dishonest as why this was happening. She asked what we were referring to, and when he brought up the whole church thing as an example, she played dumb. We tried not bringing the kids into it, as far as not trusting her with them, because she is going to be here for a short time still, and I don't want her blaming them and possibly taking frustrations out on them. We told her that we had always followed her rules when it was her house and never gave her any trouble, but when it came to be our house, she just couldn't do that. She walked away, leaving her door open, and my husband told her if she has any questions to let him know, then closed her door. I don't get why she acted all shocked. We told her 8 months ago the same thing. I guess she just assumed if we weren't pushing her then we didn't mean it. My husband sent a text to his siblings letting them know we set a time limit and telling them they are not obligated to help in any way, but he just wanted to let them know. One of them, the one who absolutely hates her because of all the shit she did to her growing up, is the only one who responded, and she is inexplicably pissed. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the responses to my last post. My husband read a lot of them too, and it made us realize that we were putting her feelings and the possibility of being shunned by family above the well-being of the kids and my husband's health. So thank you for the push and support we needed. Hoping the next few months are smooth, but highly doubting it. My mom is acting spoilt with my newborn. I have a newborn, and when she was 5 weeks old my best friend had a birthday. I said I would be there and told my boyfriend that I would need him to look after her on the Friday night for a few hours while I went out to eat. Me and my boyfriend don't live together, but are in a relationship, so our routine is I spend Wednesdays and weekends at his place and other days in the week he comes to mine. Well, my mom was in a funk about that because Friday isn't his night. And throwing a strop saying so I won't see her for 3 days until Monday? I explained to her that that's her dad, and I would obviously pick him to look after our baby over her, if we're not going out together. And she flipping lives with us. You see her every day at home, what is one night? I feel like she thinks she has some right over the baby because she is the grandma. Also, as weeks have gone on, I find that with this entitlement comes constant overstimulating of my baby. The minute my baby wakes up in the morning she's in my room like a hawk and in my baby's face. She's very loud and constantly saying my baby's name over and over and over. She loves to clap loudly in her face, and it's just jarring to me. Anytime baby cries she makes a negative out of it. Oh no, what's wrong? Crying again? You don't like me, do you? And constantly shifting baby around, never giving her a chance to settle in a hold, all the time talking loudly in her face. She loves to blame the crying on being hungry, a tummy ache, but never once thinking maybe I should just let the baby be and stop being so loud. The other day my mom was telling my boyfriend how baby was during the night and said oh she was crying and crying, but if you put her up on your shoulder she likes that. Yes she does. I am the one that told you that after you spend half an hour talking in her face causing her to cry. It's driving me nuts. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.